one degree how government allocates the funds that it does have. We heard Senator Obama last night talk about, in essence, a line item veto. He says, I want to go through the federal budget line by line, page by page. Programs that don't work, we should cut. And in effect, John McCain said something quite similar. I would fight for a line item veto, and I would certainly veto every earmark pork barrel bill. Senator Obama, he points out, has asked for nearly $1 billion in pork barrel earmark projects. You can quibble over that if you like. So these two pieces that come together, earmarks, which allocate funds and in a quiet way, and line item veto, which is an opportunity which the governor has to scratch things out. The line item veto was passed by Congress about a decade ago and was ruled unconstitutional. So where are we heading here? One, Mr. Fowler first, with the line item veto, and how will that affect earmarks, of which this state has been the frequent beneficiary?
I am opposed to the line item veto. Congress has the budgetary authority, as the Supreme Court said, and I think that's the way it should stay. The fact that we have it here in South Carolina is no reason why we should have it at the federal level. Congress adopts the budget, and the Constitution says that the President can veto the budget. It doesn't say that the President can veto little bits and pieces in the budget. He says he can veto those 13 appropriations bills that pass every year. So I think in terms of logic and fiscal management, that's the President's prerogative to veto it or not to veto it. As relates to the earmarks, Inter Vista, the Conway bypass, the highway between Aiken and Augusta, the car research plant facility at Clemson, all of those earmarks. You know, the thing about earmarks, it's just that every now and then somebody will find one that they don't like, and so they'll make a big deal of it. Like Governor Palin. She liked that bridge to nowhere for a long time, and then she changed her mind on it. Here is the question. Who has budgetary authority under the Constitution? It's the Congress. Now, if somehow you don't permit earmarks, you're going to take away congressional authority to identify specific projects that they want. And you know who's going to make those decisions? The much maligned bureaucrats in the Department of Interior, Department of Agriculture, the Department of Transportation, Department of Housing and Urban Development, and all of those other federal departments. That's exactly who picks most of those programs now. Earmarks constituted $18 billion in the budget year that was concluded on the 30th of September. That's a lot of money, but in terms of the whole federal budget, it's not much. I think Congress correctly, constitutionally, and in terms of political reality, should have the ability to earmark specific projects. Do they do it correctly? Are all those projects exactly what they should be? Certainly not. But are all the projects selected by the bureaucrats in those executive agencies, or in the executive office of management and budget in the White House, do they always select wonderfully, absolutely crystal clear, efficient projects? No. It's a political matter. It's also a constitutional matter.
Let me just come back to Senator Obama's statement that says he wants to go through the federal budget line by line, page by page. That is, in essence, a line item veto, is it not? So are you at odds with Senator Obama on this one?
In my humble opinion, as brilliant and wonderful as he is, he's wrong on this case.
Line item and earmarks, I've conflated two different issues here, but there's a relationship.
Yeah, and there is a relationship, and I would agree that it's the Congress' responsibility to develop the budget and send it on to the president for approval, and he has veto authority. They can't go through it, and it's already been ruled unconstitutional. But I do agree that we need transparency and earmarks, and some things that have gone through earmarks or the appropriate appropriation process that Dr. Fowler just talked about. I would agree that as a result, they're needed and appropriate, but I think all earmarks, no matter what they are and what the value and how good we think they are to the receiving state or community, should be transparent, and we as taxpayers should be able to look at those and understand who actually supported.
I absolutely agree with that, Mark.
Let the record show we have agreement here, and that each of these gentlemen is in disagreement with his candidate on the line item veto.